Hi, welcome back to Off the Shelf with Dr. Hanks. That's me. And this week's segment, I want to talk about a book called The Dip by Seth Godin. I know this will be reversed. I'll put an image of it up for you when I do the video. So The Dip, one of the things that stood out to me right away was this notion of how we have these highs and lows where, let's say, you get a promotion or you get a new job. You're all excited, you're getting recognition, validation, everybody's happy for you. So you have this big burst of energy and you start going at it with all these great ideas and all this creativity, and you're just bursting at the seams. But then the new kind of wears off. Another example might be when you get accepted into college. You get the acceptance letter, your family's excited, everybody's excited, you're going to be going to college, you're going to get an education, and you start out this journey being all excited and motivated, and you're going to try to do really good and get straight A's, all this stuff. And then the new wears off. And it may, if you've gotten a promotion, it may be several years before you get another promotion or before you get more recognition. A college degree, another example, it may be years until you take all the courses. And it is that dip after the high, after all you have all the energy and the excitement, when that wears off, and then you go into this dip where this is the place that just requires you to work hard, to keep your head down, be disciplined. This is the practice time. This is the behind the scenes kind of work that has to be done, that doesn't get a lot of recognition. It doesn't bring you lots of favor or accolades or validation by anyone. It's the stuff that has to be done if you want to make it to the next peak. Now, the thing is, we all have ups and downs. I mean, this is just a natural flow. So this isn't necessarily good or bad. It's just the natural flow of things. We can't all be on the mountaintops all the time. So what Seth Godin is talking about in this book is that your success, your transformation to be successful isn't necessarily how you handle the highs. It is how well you manage the dip. It is how well you stay disciplined and consistent and keep doing the work during the times when nobody's looking. And so another example might be, you don't wait until your big game, like say the championship games, you don't wait until that game to practice a week ahead of time. You don't wait if you want to run a marathon. You don't wait until the week before the marathon to start training. In so many areas of our lives, we fully understand that training and practice and discipline has to come before the big event. But we sometimes forget about, or we try to compare, like a big event being the Final Four, or a big event being the marathon, or whatever. It's like this dedicated, defined event, a point in time where you know that that's going to happen on this day and this time, and you got to be ready for it. The challenge that I see we face when we are doing normal everyday tasks and striving towards our goals, a lot of times those big games, we never know when our opportunity is going to be. We don't necessarily have time carved out for this big game. We don't have a time and day planned for, a promotion We don't have a big time and day carved out for achieving our goals in a way that's going to bring us the fulfillment and recognition that we want. So much of our big opportunities and our big wins and our big victories in life, our mountains, are only available to us through the work that we do in the dip. And we don't necessarily always know when we're going to get the recognition for that. Because we don't, you don't know for sure when you're going to get promoted. You don't know for sure when somebody's going to recognize you as a thought leader in your field and want you to come work for them. You don't know when your boss is going to call you in and ask you some questions that could be pivotal in your career and give you that recognition of being someone who knows what they're doing. So the encouragement that we have to have, or the mindset we have to have, is that the work we do in the dip when nobody's looking, that's really the work that's preparing us for the opportunity, for the potential that we have. The discipline, the practice, the hard work when nobody's looking, the consistency, how we handle that is going to not only prepare us for those opportunities, it's going to create a readiness. When we've been doing the work and when we get used to it and we get better and we've grown and we can feel it, some things may become second nature. You just do it so much that you get used to it and you don't have to think about it anymore. The thing is that time frame of doing all of the work is actually what catapults you into the success part of it. It's what catapults you into that big victory, that big opportunity, that mountaintop again. So if you characterize your passions and your goal achievement necessarily by how much you really just enjoy doing this, or it's all exciting and you get all this recognition, the challenge with that is that eventually that's going to go away, or it's not going to go away forever, but it's going to die down, and you're going to have to get to a point where nobody is really watching you get up early in the morning to do extra work, or nobody's really watching you stay up late at night to do extra work, or to practice the discipline of having a standard procedure or policy and following it through and practicing it until it becomes routine. Nobody's really going to see that part of it. They're only going to see you when you have the opportunity to really truly perform. So your success is not really characterized necessarily by how you start out, and it's not characterized necessarily by the big promotion or event at the end that gets you a lot of recognition. Your success, the transformation to success, is what you do and what happens when you're in the dip, and is factored in. The characteristic of it is how well do you handle that time. Now, I would encourage you to, and let me just say, most of the books I read, there are always multiple lessons that we can learn, and this is all always my interpretation of things. I will probably want to come back to this book at some point and do another one, but as you know, the off-the-shelf segment, the whole reason I'm doing this is for, a less than 15 minutes, like 5-10 minutes of let's just focus on one lesson that we can learn, and let's focus on one lesson that we can implement into our daily routine and actually have an impact. So I like to read with intention, and when I've got one lesson that really resonates with me and really, it's something I want to try to incorporate in my life, then I try to stop reading and just hang on to that and really reflect on it and see in what ways can I improve my life by implementing this? And so with this, the dip, that he also talks about how you know when to quit, because strategically quitting, as he puts it, as Seth Godin puts it, means that if you are, if you know this is going nowhere, if you know that there's not going to be another victory, if you know that there's going to be like a bad turn out of this whole thing, then by all means, maybe you should redirect your efforts towards something else. But the main thing is that if you're discouraged now, today, if you're discouraged or you're not sure where your efforts are taking you, I would just encourage you to really think through what exactly it is you're trying to accomplish, and whether or not, when you think about that end result, is that end result worth putting in a little bit of sacrifice and hard work now? And if it is, then what can you do to utilize this dip and practice and work hard and put in the hours and put in the practice, put in the hits over and over and over again, and even speed up the next hill, the next big, opportunity. Speed it up by leaning in and taking full advantage of this time to use it to learn and practice and grow and become disciplined. And as long as you can say that end goal that you want to achieve is worth it, and it is worth the time, and you feel it, and you know that what you're doing is worth the time, then lean into it. Make the most of the time that you have while you have it. Don't get discouraged, because we don't know when that next opportunity is going to be. What we do know is that there will be an opportunity, and we have to be ready for it when it comes. And the only way to be ready for it is to do the work now, to be successful, and to lean into the dip and take advantage of that time and learn and be disciplined and prepare and practice. And that way, when that next big opportunity comes your way, you're ready. Next week, I think I'll give you a little sneak peek. Next week, we're going to be talking about bumpers, which actually ties to this book. I almost did them both together, but I want to keep this kind of short and sweet, so you have time to watch it and enjoy it. So next week, I will be bringing in a book that we have that kind of relates to the same concept. I might be able to give you a little deep dive into some of it as well next week. So see you soon. Have a good day.